Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about something that changed the way modern companies run their technology, that is cloud migration. By the end of this video, you will understand what cloud migration actually means, why companies bother doing it, the strategies they use, and then we will walk through a real case study how Netflix moved off its own data center and into the cloud, and honestly, why that move probably saved the company. Okay, let's get into it. So first, what actually is cloud migration? In simple terms, it's the process of moving your data, your application, your whole IT setup away from an on-premise data center, meaning physical servers a company owns and runs themselves over to a cloud environment like AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud. Here's a way to picture it. Instead of building your own power plant just to run your house, you plug into the city power grid and pay for what you use. That's basically the cloud. You stop owning the infrastructure and you start renting capacity instead. Why companies migrate? Now, why would a company even want to do this? A big reason is cost. No need to buy and maintain expensive servers. Second is scalability. You can scale up when traffic spikes and scale back down when things are quiet. Disaster recovery. Cloud providers replicate your data across different regions. Global reach. You can serve customers anywhere in the world with low latency. Less maintenance burden. The provider deals with hardware failure, updates, security patches, all of it. Basically, companies migrate so they can focus on building their actual product instead of babysitting servers all day. There are actually different ways to migrate, and in the industries, we call this the 6 R's. First, Rehost. That's lift and shift. You just move your existing setup to cloud as it is. Replatform is moving to the cloud but make small optimizations along the way. Repurchase is switch to a cloud-based product entirely, like moving from a self-hosted CRM to something like Salesforce. Refactor, rebuild the application so it's actually cloud native. Retain, keep some systems on premise for now if migrating them doesn't make sense yet. Retire, shutdowning the old systems that nobody needs anymore. Most companies end up mixing a few of these depending on what part of the system they are moving. At a high level, migration usually follows 5 steps. 1. Assessment. Figure out what you have and what actually needs to move. 2. Planning. Decide the strategy, the timeline, and which cloud provider. 3. Migration execution. Actually move the workloads. 4. Testing and validation. Make sure everything still works the way it should. 5. Optimization. Fine tune performance and cost after the dust settles. Now here's where it is getting interesting. Let's look at how a real company actually went through this. But before we get into that, there are cloud migration isn't it all smoothing sailing. It comes with some real challenges. There's downtime risk. Moving time systems can cause interruptions if it's not planned carefully. There's data security, since your sensitive data is now living on someone else's infrastructure, so compliance become a biggest deal. There's cost overruns. Cloud cost there can spiral fast if nobody watching uses. Pay as you go. can quietly turn into pay way more than you planned. There's a legacy system compatibility. Older applications just weren't built with the cloud in mind, so moving them can be a painful and expensive um, changes. And there's the skill gap. Teams often need to upskill because running cloud infrastructure takes a different kind of expertise that than running physical servers. So it's really not a flip or switch and you are done situation. Companies have to weigh all of this before they commit, which brings us to a company that faced exactly this kind of pressure. Now let us get to case study of Netflix. Back in 2008, Netflix had a major database corruption issue in their own data center. It caused a 3-day outage, and during that time, they couldn't ship DVDs to customers. Remember, this was back when Netflix was still mainly a DVD by mail company. That outage was basically a wake up call. Netflix realized that depending entirely on their own physical infrastructure was too risky. One single point of failure had frozen their whole business for 3 days. So they made a bold decision migrate to cloud, specifically to Amazon Web Services. But here's the important part, they don't do this overnight. This migration actually took Netflix about 7 years from 2008 all the way to 2016 when they finally shut down the last of their own data center. Now the main question is how Netflix did it. First, gradual services by service migration. Instead of moving everything at once, they migrated one microservice at a time, which kept the disk manageable. Second, microservice architecture. They broke their one giant application into small independent services that could scale and fail on their own. Third, chaos engineering. This is honestly one of the most famous part of whole story. Netflix built a tool called Chaos Monkey that what is randomly and what it does is randomly shut down servers on purpose in production just to test whether the system can survive it. If someone or something broke when a server went down randomly, we will well now they know exactly where the weak point is before a real failure exposes it for them. That's kind of a genius approach if you think about it. Instead of just hoping nothing breaks, they intentionally broke things to make the system tougher. So, uh, what did Netflix actually get out of all this? A massive improvement in uptime and reliability, the ability to scale globally. Think about how their traffic spikes the moment a huge show drops and just handle it. Reduce infrastructure overhead since there's no more managing physical servers, and faster feature deployment because engineering teams could ship update independently without waiting on each other. Today, Netflix is actually one of the AWS biggest customers. So, what can we actually take away from this? Migrate incrementally, not all in one go. Invest in automation and monitoring from day one. Build for failure. Assume things will break and design your system so it can survive that. And finally, cloud migration isn't just a technical shift, it's a cultural shift too. Teams have to change how they think about ownership, reliability, and speed. So that's cloud migration, explained through one of the most well-known case studies in tech. Netflix going from a single point of failure to a globally resilient cloud native company. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe for more breakdown like this, and drop a comment if you want a deep dive into chaos engineering, because honestly that topic deserves its own episode. So see you next time. Okay, bye.